Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Elle's coming from Bemis Crafty Corner. And today I have a project. It's going to be two projects, but we're going to do the first of it today. And then I'll probably do a second video for the other one. Who knows? I may end up doing them both today. But here's the deal. You remember I picked up a bunch of these at the thrift store for, $1. Well, I brought them home and I was like, what can you do with these? What can we do with these? And so I came up with a couple of things that we can do with them. And so we're going to take a look at that today. I'm going to get out a couple of things and give you a supply list, and then, we'll get started with this, okay? Be right back. So what do we need? We need a bin, at least wide enough to put these photo albums into. Your cutter. And some scrap cardstock. That's, at least as wide as your photo album, okay? Now, there are two types of these photo albums. Some you buy, the pictures go in on the side. We don't want this one. We want the one where the pictures go in at the top, okay? So I'm just going to move the trimmer over for a second, and we are going to disassemble this. So the first thing we're going to do is take out the paper, because these will make excellent tags or journal cards, Those would be cool for that. All right, I'm going to remove some stickers. There we go. And then I'm going to take the cover off, and this is not hard. You just have to kind of pull it off slowly. You don't want to go too fast or you'll end up tearing this, and you don't want to tear that. And you end up with the cover. It doesn't matter if the cover's torn, no big deal. Just put it to the side. We're going to use that for something later. Okay, so then we're going to take these. We're going to open this to the center. And there's a little area here, like where it doesn't connect. And we're just going to put this in our trimmer and just trim these off. Okay? And then we're going to do the other side as well. We're going to get as close to that center piece as we can. This is a little tricky to do. There we go. Okay. Now, if you want to do this with your scissors, you can do it with your scissors as well. It's just as easy to do that. But, Okay, so once I have all these separated, get rid of my trimmer for the moment. And we are going to move to the next part of this. Okay, so for the next part, ruler, cardstock. It doesn't matter if it's plain, if it's textured, or even if it's, thicker scrapbook paper, whatever you want to use. And we're going to measure these from the inside. There's a little stitching line from the inside over, which for me is 4 1/8. So I'm going to go at 3 7/8 by right at 6 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock to 3 7/8 by 6 inches. Okay. And then this goes in here. Just like that. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of these and stack them all up. And then I'm going to get my bin. get out my stamp sets. I'm going to put them in here. And I'm going to stack them up. Okay? Then I'm going to take some like larger index cards, like 5x7s, and I can put dividers in here, either, you know, however I want to store them. I can divide them by brand. Do I want to put them like all my Bo Bunnies together, all of my Tim Holtz together, all of my Stampendous together? Do I want to do them by category? Like, do I want to do it like all, these are alphas, these are words, these are flowers, these are bugs, you know, butterflies, whatever. And I can organize all of my stamps into my bins. And I have cheap storage to put them in, okay? So, that's project number 1. I'm going to go ahead and show you project number 2. I'll be right back. So, project number 2. For project number 2, you're going to need your photo album covers, some lock rings, your trimmer, a hole punch, some eyelets if you have them. That's it. Let me show you what we're going to do. So again, we're going to make sure that we have all of these cards out. And we're going to take these labels off. One. Okay, this one does not want to come off. That's all right. We have another one right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this nice and even. I'm just going to put this into my trimmer. And I'm just going to trim some off the top. Okay, basically I'm just going to trim off the spine that's damaged, which leaves me these little plastic pockets. Alright, so we're going to get a bunch of these. This one needs to be trimmed a little bit more. There we go. These are, just in case anybody wants to know, these are 5.5, 4.5, excuse me. Put this one in, this down, trim this off. Some of you probably already know where I'm going. Alright. 4.5. Cut. Turn it around. 4.5. Cut. Alright. That's enough. Alright, so I have a stack of these. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stack them up. Oh, this one needs a little bit of a trim. He's a little bit bigger than everybody else. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that they're all the same height. I'm going to stack them up, and I'm going to put a couple of clamps on them real quick, just to hold them in place. And then I'm going to find, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to find my middle. which these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 inches long. So 3¼ inches is my middle. Let me get permanent black marker here. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3.5. That's my middle. I'm going to come in 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. And this is on the cut edge. All right. So I'm going to get my hole punch. I'm going to punch a hole here and one down here. And then I'm going to set some eyelets. Now you don't have to put eyelets in these, but I would at least put them in the outside pockets. Now, you don't have to cut the middle. You can just do the outsides if you want to. That's entirely up to you. But now I have this pocket, right? So, we'll pretend that I have eyelets on everything. We're going to get our little locking rings. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to put one over here. And I'll put one on the other end. Now, the one in the middle I use to keep everything in, but since I don't need to do that at the moment. And then what I have are these little pockets that I can put ephemera into, and I can hang this up and all of my ephemeras in here, and I can flip through this. I can add as many as I want, and I can flip through, find what I'm looking for, and be able to use that ephemera on my project. Okay? So, we used almost every part of this, but we're going to use every part because I'm going to do one more bonus on this one. I'll be right back. Okay, project number 3. Cutting board, eyelet, punch, the covers. Well, we'll use this one because, you know, this one will work. All right, so this is 4.5 inches wide. So I can go 2 1/4. And I'll get 2 out of each one. 2 1/4. And then, you know, we'll cut it as a tag. Now I'm throwing things on the floor over here. Okay, get this out of the way. We'll poke a hole. Add an eyelet. Round some corners. Add some ink. Give it a top. Let's see. It needs a top. Perfect. Get a piece of this. Give him a haircut. And there's a tag. So there you go. We got 3 projects out of one of these little 99-cent photo albums that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree. We got stamp storage patches that you can put your stamps in. If for any reason you just feel this isn't strong enough, you can always do, like washi tape on the sides. Maybe you buy a roll of washi tape and that's how you distinguish what kind of stamp is in there. Who knows? You can also, if you have a stamp with a die, you can put the die on the back side. Just a thought. We used the covers to make this nifty little ephemera holder that you can add to and take with you, and you can just take like 1 or 2 pieces if you want 1 or 2 pieces, and you can pop the 3rd hole if you want to put another ring in here to hold everything in, just so you don't have to worry about it falling out. That's an option for this. And we used the outside covers to make a tag. So that's everything. That's every part of this item used. That was fun. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends, and before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11, 12, and 1 across the country, 8 o'clock over in Hawaii. I post videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, and sometimes in between when I feel like there's an important subject. I currently have 2 items going for 2022. The first is my 12 of 22 journal challenge. That information for that can be found in the description box below. There's a link, takes you to a great little slideshow, gives you all the information that you need. And my free classes of 2022. And in order to get information for those, what you do need to do is ring that bell and select all so that you get notifications when those post, which is typically on a Saturday morning. And then I go live Saturday afternoon to walk you through that class, just to see if there's something in there that maybe you didn't understand, or maybe you want me to just clarify. That's it. That's all I have until I see you again. Stay well. Bye-bye.